What's up, you guys? It's JCARDENASART, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's paint. Bow, 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 ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da-ba. Boop, 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 boop. Dum bow, ba da bum bow, ba da bow. Ba da ba da ba da ba da bow. Ba da ba da ba da ba da ba. Bow, 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 bow. Boo, boo, boo. Bow, bow. Ba, 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 ba. Hey, I hope you liked the intro. I had a lot of fun doing it. Very interesting and complicated to try to make my own version of that, but I enjoyed it. I had fun. It was a learning experience. I hope it came out good. I apologize for my insane, weird noise making. It's just kind of hard not to do it along with that song. But anyway, for all my Cowboy Bebop fans, I'm going to show you how to create this bad boy. So let's go. The very first thing I did was look up a bunch of pictures of the characters, narrowing it down to my favorite ones, importing them into Clip Studio, and doing a quick rough outline of the characters, not copying or tracing or anything, just a quick sketchy outline. The reason I am doing this is because these characters look a very specific way and they have specific proportions and such, and you know, I want to get those correct. I don't want to mess that up. So the idea was to combine my favorite pictures, whether it's a moment in the show or a scene or like a specific object or whatever, and create one big collage, kind of like a movie poster. After layering some pictures, erasing, resizing, watching a couple episodes for references, or maybe just for fun, because, you know, let's be honest, the show is awesome, it was time to project the drawing. I projected the drawing onto a 30 by 40 inch gallery wrapped canvas, and I used the Sharpie to go over the outlines. My first step when painting, as always, is blocking in. I do this to make sure that there's a layer of paint, a base. I usually use a color closest possible to what I'll be actually using towards the end. For example, Spike's suit is blue, so I will probably use a blue. When I do this, I can make any adjustments in color as I go, blocking in. Sometimes two colors don't look that nice next to each other, so during the blocking stage, I'll be able to catch that quick, and I can adjust the colors. Now I know what you're thinking, dude. You can do this digitally since you're already sketching it digitally, and you can avoid the hassle of doing it during the painting process and possibly save some paint, right? Yeah, you're right. But it's too late now, and I'll probably try to remember that next time I draw something out for my next painting. I'm using acrylic paint. If you are interested in the paints and brushes and such that I'm using, I will have affiliate links in the description if you're interested in that. For the swordfish, I'm going to use a lighter shade of red and pinkish highlights. It's not Cowboy Bebop without the swordfish and the red tail. Behind Faye, I put a design from one of the casino walls in one of the episodes because she's a heavy gambler. Speaking about the background, in the background I want a turquoise, but I felt like if I did it throughout the whole background, it would be way too distracting. So in order to prevent that, I thought about just doing black first and figuring out how to add the turquoise in, and that's when I came up with the idea of using the black and then blending into the turquoise towards the center and making the logo pop more by having the turquoise strictly behind the logo and not the whole background. I like the way the whole blending in was going on, so I did that with the other colors in the background, for example the yellow into the black or the green into the white. Once the blending was done, it was time for the next step. This is where the painting really starts to take its form. Tighter shapes, harder soft edges, more accurate colors, shadows, highlights, a little more blending and such. I tend to switch over to smaller brushes during the stage, but you can continue using big brushes if that's what you like. I watched Cowboy Bebop for the first time last year. Yes, I know I went so long in my life without watching it. Thing is that I watch animes here and there. I don't get too sucked into them, especially since animes are so long and filled with so many fillers. And because of that, I kind of just wait till the show is completely done and watch it at my own pace and skip the fillers if they're just too boring or just completely out there, instead of having to sit there, wait for a new episode or a new season, and then going through a whole season and realizing, wow, half of this was filler. I just rather avoid all that. But this show was quick. It's like 20 something episodes, and every single episode is great. Before I watched the show, I went a couple years without watching any anime because it was getting very boring. It was the same thing over and over and over again. Godlike powers, doesn't know how to use it, gets beat down all the time, gets stronger, saves some people from danger, unleashes the god power, rinse and repeat. It was just getting very meh. It was getting annoying. And I don't know, like somebody told me, oh, you're getting bored of that? You should watch Cowboy Bebop. It's just a bunch of bounty hunters. And I was like, what do you mean? And that's literally what it is. It's just a couple bounty hunters trying to make money. Their pasts get revealed throughout the show. The jokes are pretty funny. The action is great. It's not too exaggerated. It has a little more realistic feel to it, but of course it's still an anime, so it is a bit more exaggerated. The soundtrack is so great. Like, you can ask anybody who's ever seen this show and they will tell you the soundtrack is one of the best things about the shows. The intro alone is iconic. I don't know anybody who's ever seen the show and doesn't just sing along with it or make noises like I did in the intro. Like, it's hard not to. I highly recommend watching the show. Don't watch the Netflix series though. It's not terrible as a standalone show. It's got its own thing. It's got its own little twist to the story. It changes things up, obviously, from the anime. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I understand why it got canceled so fast. But if you really want to appreciate the show, you have to watch the anime. If you've seen the show, let me know which is your favorite episode. My favorite episode is actually the very first episode. My favorite color combination in this whole painting was definitely Ed's hair. The reddish orangey color with the bluish gray goggles and then the green in the goggles. It's just, I love the combination. I think it looks awesome. Spike's suit was pretty straightforward, just different shades of blue and then the yellow shirt. I just had to make sure the composition was right. The most difficult part about the painting, I will be completely honest, is to get the colors of the characters as accurate as possible. And the second thing is to create a balance of the colors in the canvas. I didn't want to have one color overpower another. I didn't want there to be like way too much red, for example, in one corner and not enough on another. And it was just like, I didn't want it to be too distracting. I decided to put Jetpack here, just sitting back and relaxing. Over here behind Jet, I had no choice but to add his precious little bonsai trees. And of course, the captain himself needs his ship, the Bebop. There was a lot of browns over here in this corner with Jet, so I had to make sure that everything over here stood on its own. So I had to use different shades and a lot of highlights and a lot of shadows. Also, I kind of want a bonsai tree now. The show's logo is all black except the words in the middle that says Cowboy Bebop. That's black and white. But it kind of got lost in the background, just leaving them black. So I gave it a white outline, which I did with a white Posca paint marker. Jet's boot was straightforward, just different shades of gray and working with the composition and lights and darks. On the top half of the painting, for the background, I didn't want to bring up the turquoise, because on the very bottom near Faye, I did a blend of yellow to black, and then I blended in the yellow to the turquoise, and I thought that looked great. So I thought of bringing in another color, and I felt like it needed to be one that wasn't used yet, so I brought up purple. So to balance the purple out on the top half, I made the letters at the very bottom where there's literally almost no purple. It was actually kind of tough finding references of the Bebop. I don't know if I was searching it up wrong or something, but I had to go in and out of the episodes and pause throughout the show to get a good look at it. After I was done with the characters, I went back and I added any extra highlights, any outlines, a little bit of shadow, you know, just to make everything pop, give it more definition, and give it more of that cartoony feel. I didn't outline everything, just enough to make it pop. On the one was a tough choice because in this corner with Faye, there's already yellow, green, blue, black, white, turquoise, red, like all the colors are just hanging out over here. So in order to help balance, I couldn't use one of these. I had to bring in a completely new color. So I brought in this pink, and because it's a new color, I kind of scattered it around in the canvas, like as little highlights, for example, on the swordfish, on Jet's shirt, a little bit on Ein's tongue, like just a little bit here and there. On the two next to the swordfish, I'm adding in the same green behind Faye to help balance that one out because that specific color green is nowhere else. The green on the bonsai tree and the one of the sack that Ein is in is more or less the same. So I felt like this one needed to jump in somewhere else. On the three, I'm bringing up the turquoise behind the logo. Originally, I couldn't think of a color because of all the other colors either blending in too much with Ed's hair or blending too much with the green sack. So I don't know, like I felt like the turquoise needed to be somewhere else other than just back there, and adding it to the three kind of gave it like a nice little spill. And the OK behind Ed's hair, I added in the goldish yellow color from Faye's outfit because there was already too much green. The turquoise was already here. The purple would just blend in. The pink was going to blend in too much. I couldn't use an orange or a red because of Ed's hair. And yeah, so I brought in that goldish yellow from Faye's outfit. Before I show you the final shots, thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for future notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. I did start posting shorts. Not too crazy about it, but it is what it is. Anyway, I am going to have prints on my website. I am also going to be selling the original piece. So if you are interested in either one of those, go check it out on my website, JCARDENASART.com. Appreciate the support. Now, are you ready for those detailed shots? Let's go.